first thing I recommend you do is to create a restore point on your computer so that if anything goes wrong or you want to roll back to your Windows default settings, you can just go there and restore. So what you have to do is to go to your start menu and search for create restore point. So this is it. I'm just going to click on it, and here what we can do is to configure our restore point over here. So I'm going to bring it a bit higher to 21%, and here click on OK. And now what we can do is to click on create, give it a name. I'm going to name mine go back to Windows 11. And here click on create. Once this is created, we are going to see our restore point is successfully created. Click on close and click on OK. And now what we have to do is I've provided a zip file in the description below, which will contain all the files we are going to use in this customization. So I recommend you extract it on your desktop. So I'm going to click on this and extract to this desktop. Once we have this, we can delete the zip file and then we are good to go. So when you open this folder, you are going to see all these files inside, which is going to help us customize our Windows from the beginning to the end. So the first thing we are going to install is the Mac-like icon pack on our Windows, which is going to change all the icons on our Explorer and other parts on our Windows computer. So to do that, you just have to head to your icons folder, and here what you're going to do is to double click on the 7TSP GUI to open the icon installation setup. So once it's open, just click on add a custom pack, and here what we can do is to head to the macOS team folder, open the icons and select 7TSP macOS blue.7zip, and here click on OK. Click on yes to load, and now once it's done, we can just click on start patching to install this theme on our computer. Mostly this takes a bit of time, so I recommend you relax for it to install on your computer. Once the installation is done, it's going to ask you to reboot your computer. So just click on yes to reboot, and I'll see you after you are done. Alright, now we can even see from here that our folder icon has been changed, and when we open the Explorer, we are going to see the Mac-like icons here, and this is beautiful. Now the next thing we are going to do is to install the macOS theme on the desktop, which is going to change the Explorer to a full macOS look, which is beautiful. So to do that, we are going to go into the themes folder, and here what you have to do is to copy Windows 11 theme files, which is inside here. So I'm just going to select all of them and click on copy, and here we can open a new tab and go to our local disk, which is on this PC. So once you've opened it, what you have to do is to open your Windows folder, and here look for resources. So I'm just going to click on the resources folder, and here there's some theme folder over here. Open it up and paste it here. Click on yes to continue, and it's going to paste the macOS theme over here. Once you are done pasting it here, what I recommend you do is to go back to your macOS theme folder, and here open the Ultra US theme patcher, which is an application. So I'll double click on it to start the installation setup. Click on next, click on accept the terms and lances, click on next again and agree. Here what you have to do is to click on install. Mostly if you are new to this, then it's going to ask you to reboot your computer, so I recommend you reboot it and continue with this tutorial for everything to work well for you. So I'll click on next, and here click on finish, and we are good to go. So once it's done, we can close our Explorer and head to our Windows settings, which is over here. And what we have to do is to click on personalization, and here select themes, and we are going to see that the new Mac theme has been added, and it's looking a bit transparent over here. So what I recommend you do is to select one of them, and you are good to go. So once we've selected this, we can just close our settings and see if the theme is really working. And here there's something you have to note. If you open this one and these icons are not showing, it means your Ultra US theme patcher you installed didn't work well and you have to reboot and continue. So once you have this, then I think you are good to go. So the next thing we are going to do is to install the Start All Back, which is also an installation setup. I'll just double click on it, and here we have to click on install for everyone, and it's going to install the theme and the application on our computer. So once it's installed, we can see it has had effect on our Windows taskbar, and here we also have this Start All Back application over here. So what we can do is to click on Proper 11, and here head to your start menu and turn it off, and also head to your taskbar and turn it off because we are not going to use any of them. Here what we are going to use here is the Explorer. So click on Explorer and select Win7 command bar, and you can leave the rest. But the last thing is just check this one to get a colorize on anywhere. So just close it up, and now if we open our Windows Explorer, we are going to see that it's now looking a bit cool now and it's beautiful. So the next thing we are going to do is to also go back inside our folder and go to Explorer. Now there are some few things we are going to do here. The first thing is the left sider, which is going to help us move this icons to the left side like macOS. But before we do that, we have to install the old new Explorer, which is a setup file. So to install this, just open the zip file up, and here what I recommend you do is to go back to your Explorer, go to your local disk, and here create a folder called Tweaks. So I'm just going to call this one Tweaks, and click on enter and open the folder up. Once you've opened it up, you can create a folder inside it which is called Old New Explorer. Once we have this, we can copy all the files over here inside it. So I'm just going to move it a bit closer to it and drag it into the folder. Once you have this, you have to run the Old New Explorer CFG. So I'll double click on it to run. Once it's open, just select this and select all of this and turn off this too. And also turn off show status bar to hide the status bar which is below our Explorer. And now click on install. Once it's installed, you can close it up and close our Explorer, and also close this one. We are going to do after we've installed the old new Explorer is to head back and install the left sider. So I'll open this zip file too, and also head back to the Tweaks folder. So I'll open the Tweaks and then drag the left sider, which is the version 1.02, to the folder and open it up. Here what you have to do is to run it as an administrator. So I'll click on run as administrator to install this left sider. So as you can see, our icons has been moved to the left and it's beautiful. So let's move to the next step. Now the last thing we are going to do to our Explorer is to give it a blur-like look, which is going to make it look beautiful. So what you have to do here is to open the release S64 zip and go back to your Tweaks folder and also drag it inside it. So I'll drag it here and open it up, and what I can do is to run the register as administrator. So once it's done, we are going to see that it has been successful. Click on OK, and now it's going to close all our Explorer and we are good to go. So once we are done with it, we can go back and set up a wallpaper which is going to make our Windows look nice. Actually, I'm using a multiple display, that's why there's no wallpaper on this one. So I'll just select any of the wallpaper. I'm going to go with this one and set it as my background wallpaper. And look at that, this is beautiful. So it has made our Explorer a bit transparent and it's making everything beautiful. So let's continue with the video. So the next thing is to install the Mac-like dock, which is going to take our Windows to the next level. So to do that, open the dock folder and here copy the my dock finder. So I'm going to copy it, and here go to your local disk, open the Tweaks folder and also paste it here. Once you've pasted it here, just open it up and here run the dock 64 application. So I'll just double click on it to run. So once it's installed, you are going to see that the dock has been added. So what we are going to do is to right click on the dock and click on preferences. Here you can even close this Explorer, and what we are going to do is to head to the advanced tab, scroll down, and you are going to see macOS theme for SamCux. Just click on it, click on OK to load. Now as you can see, some icons has been added to it and it's making our dock look a bit beautiful now. But that's not it. If you have any application which you want to add, like I have this Zen browser here, you can just drag it on your dock and it's going to add it to it, and it's pretty easy. So once you have this, the blank ones are the ones which are not available on your computer, so you can just right click on it and click on remove from dock. So I'm going to remove the ones I don't have and here make it clean. So once we have this, we can just right click again, go to preference, and there are some few tricks we can do here. The first thing I recommend you do is to make it start on boot. So I'll just click on it and click on start as a service, and here what it does is immediately the computer starts, the dock is also going to start, and it's pretty cool. Now we can head to our look and behavior, which is for the dock, and here we can adjust the size of our dock to make it a bit bigger for our personal feel. So I'm just going to go with this one and make it a bit bigger on magnification. So the next I recommend you do is to click here and select and light, which is going to give it the new look on our dock, and it's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is to increase the intensity on the icon and also on the background to make it more light. So once I have this, I think we are good to go. If you want to change the color of the highlighting, you can just adjust it to here. And if you want to know more about this latest dock, you can just watch the video provided on the card above or in the description below. Once we are done with this, the next thing we are going to do is to head back to general again and hide our Windows taskbar to make our desktop clean. So I'll click on automatic hide the taskbar, and here you can hide it from your dock display, or if you have only one display, you can just select it over here to hide it. So once I've clicked on it, you can see it has been hid and it's beautiful. So I'll just close it up, and now we are good to go. So another thing we have to do is to head to this launch pad, and here what we are going to do is to change this tab to show icons in the start menu and also on our desktop the launch pad, which is going to make it a bit nice. So once you are done setting it, you can just click on your launch pad and you'll see a lot of apps. If yours is not showing like mine, you can just right click on your dock and click on restart dock to restart it, and now when it opens we can just click on it and we are going to see all the new icons. So I'll click on it, and now you are going to see that all the icons has been added and it's beautiful. So let's continue with the tutorial. So once we have this dock, then we are almost there. Now we are going to install the Mac-like widgets on our computer, and it's also easy. Just open the widgets folder and run the Remitter to install Remitter on our computer. Once it's installed, we can just launch it up and it's going to install the default skins on our desktop. So what I recommend you do is to right click on any of them and unload the skin. Once you've unload all the skins, then we can continue with the video. So I'm just going to run this denser file, which is a Remitter skin, and install this beautiful clock on our desktop. So once it's loaded, you can just close our Explorer and here close the settings. These are the things this dock brings, and what I recommend you do is to right click on the other ones, excluding the main. This is the only thing we are going to use here, so I recommend you drag it to this side of your screen to make it a bit aesthetically nice, and we can continue. So the next thing we are going to do is to open the widgets folder again, and now what we can do here is to open this Win S64, and here head back to your local disk, go to your tweaks folder, and here drag the Win S64 into the release folder. Once you have it here, you can just close the zip file and just open it up. Here what you can do is to double click on the U widgets, which is an application, and run. Once the application is open, I can just close the Explorer, and now we are good to go. So this is an all-in-one skin pack application which is going to help us install beautiful clocks and calendar on our Windows computer, and it's beautiful. So what we can do here is first go to the general tab and click on run on start to check it, so that anytime you start your computer, it's going to start with it, and go to the appearance and choose this one. So once you've chosen it, then we are good to install the widgets, and after that we will customize it. So I'll click on calendar, and the first widget I'm going to add here is this calendar. So I'll click on it and it's going to load it, and now I can drag it over here. The next one is to head to the clock, and here I'm also going to add this clock widget, and it's beautiful. Now I'm also going to head to this note and click on the note to add the notes widgets. And also lastly, I'm going to click on the weather and add this weather. So once we have all of this, we can just move a bit closer here. So once we have all of this, we can just move it a bit closer here and arrange it to make it look nice. So the first thing is the calendar. I'll just right click on the calendar and choose medium to make it a bit longer, and I'll drag it here. And now I'm just going to move this one a bit down and bring this one here, and the note 2 here. So with this weather, I'm just going to right click on it and make this one to medium to show all the weather. And now we are good to go. So there are some few settings you can adjust over here. Now if you don't like to be switching between light and dark mode here, you can just click on system so that it will go with your Windows system. And here with the opacity, you can just reduce the opacity or decrease it here. So I'm going to reduce mine to 0.30, which is going to make it a bit transparent. And here with the accent color, you can just choose system or choose manual, and I'm going to go with the system. And the monochrome theme, you can just turn it off to see how your widget is going to look, and when you turn it on, you're also going to see how it looks. So this is how it is, and you can also change the font family over here, but I just want to go with this Inter, which is beautiful, and that's it. So once you are done, you can just close this up. So now we are almost done, and the last thing we are going to do is to install the macOS Keza on our computer, and it's pretty easy. Just open the folder which contains the Keza, and here right click on the install and click on install. Once you've installed it, we are good to go. You can just close it up and open your Windows settings. Once you are here, you can just click on your personalization, go to tips, and here you can click on mouse Keza, and it's going to open the mouse Keza settings for you. So what you can do is to click here and choose the pixel and click on OK to apply. Click on yes, and now you can see my Windows Keza is changed to this beautiful one, and I'm good to go. So I'll close it up, and now this is it. And the last thing you can do over here is to right click anywhere on the desktop and hide our desktop icons. And look at that, this is a beautiful macOS theme which is going to make our Windows computer look beautiful and nice. Now a quick tip, once we are done setting up this theme, there are some few things we can do over here. When we head to our preferences in the dock, we have a new Windows animation, and here we can just choose between all these animations, which is going to change how we animate our Windows Explorer and other applications. So I'll just choose any of them, which is something more like this, and here I'm also going to go with this one, which is going to make our Windows look like this, and it's beautiful. So when we open anything on our desktop, we can just close it and we have that beautiful animation. So that's it for the first one. The second one is we have Stage Manager, which we can use to keep track of all our applications which are open on the left or on the right side. And the last thing I'm going to show you is this new minimize effect, and now we have a new effect over here called sack, and it's beautiful. So when we minimize our application, we are going to see this new animation which is looking a bit pretty cool and beautiful. So feel free to look through all this and let me know what you think. So this is it, and thank you for watching. If you have any question, just comment it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.